Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the Kidworks Thundercats miniature figures, and maybe you want to get a Cat's Lair for less than $1,000. You don't want to go with the LJN. These are cheaper alternatives to the LJN items. They were cheaper back in 1986 when they were released. They're still cheaper today. They're pretty affordable to get. The weapons, maybe not so much. We're going to talk about this whole toy line coming up. First off, looking at pretty much any one of the card backs will kind of look like this, and it shows you the entire US release of the toy line. At the top you have all of the miniature figures with all of their weapons. You've got the good cats and you've got the mutants up there. You also have right below that, it's kind of a belt that you can clip them into, kind of like the Star Wars Chewbacca bandolier that they made back in the day at Kenner. Then of course the Cat's Lair, which is, in my opinion, the Cat's Lair is the main attraction to these miniatures. And then the Mumra's Crypt, as opposed to Mumra's Lair or whatever. And then down below we have the Snowman and Snow Meow playset. And at the bottom, the Eye of Thundera, which I don't have, and I'll be talking about that a little bit at the end of this. Now, first of all, I want to show a couple of things right away. First off, I want to show you the size difference between all of these figures and a standard LJN Thundercat. So there's Lion-O next to all of them, but you can see Lion-O miniature versus the Lion-O. So this is how much smaller they are. None of these figures have any articulation whatsoever. So they are technically figurines, not action figures. So there's the distinctive difference in my mind between a figurine and a figure. But looking at this, that just gives you a size scale. Now, does this Thundercats Cat's Lair size up well next to an LJN? Not really, but would make for a decent background even in an LJN display, in my opinion, which is the whole reason I even picked it up. You know me, being cheap, just not wanting to spend $1,000, so only spent like $150 instead of $1,000. that felt a lot better. I may end up getting a Cat's Lair down the road, but not anytime soon. So first up, I want to take a look at these figures here, and this one is the Lion-O, and this is kind of how he looks. I want to get it all focused in there, but I've got tons of light on it. Yeah, these have a lot of paint wear. It seems like all of them do, but there he is. I did have his sword, so that's probably pretty much my only accessory that I have. Here is the Panthro. Now he's supposed to, of course, come with his nunchucks, but there he is. It's a pretty interesting likeness, but definitely different than what I'm used to seeing with the LJN line. Here is Tigra. He does look like he's got quite a bit more wear. He's got quite a bit of wear to him. And a lot of these will have wear. Interesting thing, they sold them in 1-pack or 4-packs in the US. So kind of a cheap price point, and you can still get them packaged today. Here is Chitara, and Chitara was supposed to come with her typical bow, but don't have it. There she is. She doesn't look that bad, but she looks kind of, she's got like huge arms in this compared to before with the other figure from LJN. Mumra the Ever Living. We're gonna see him when we get to the Crypt, and of course the party trick that we have with that. Hachiman. I don't have a sword, but Hachiman sword. Now, I keep talking about these weapons accessories. There is a seller in Italy, I think, that has the accessory pack. So it did come with a weapons pack if you want to pick up a weapons pack and get all these accessories. Monkeyin. Did I mention the accessory pack, the weapons pack? It pretty much has all the accessories. It's not cheap. It is not a cheap weapons pack, but it's still available if you want to pick that thing up. Here is the Warrior. Looks pretty good. Looks a lot like what my Warrior. Again, these look a lot stockier. I'm sure it has to do with making sure that the limbs aren't too thin, that they don't snap off real easily. So I'm glad they went with that design, because I don't want to see a bunch of broken arms on these things. This is Slith. I don't know if he knew there'd be a game, Slither.io, named after him later on, but Slith. Probably one of the cheaper ones. Here's Jackalman, and compared to... This one looks way different compared to LJN. Like, this is not... I guess you have that shoulder strap still. That's the same, but this doesn't look... I had to look him up. Like, who is this guy? This is Reptilian. I don't know if LGN made a Reptilian. Now I gotta go look that up. Interesting looking character. An Old Man Mumra. Got quite a bit of paint chipping on him. So let's go ahead and get into looking at the Cat's Lair, which I think is the main attraction to this line, and it attracted me to even picking any of it up. And I guess Vulture Man, I didn't show him. I don't know what he was doing over here with these guys. It seems like they made more bad guys than good guys in these miniatures. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how it feels. Okay, so looking at this thing overall, it really does look like the Cat's Lair from the cartoon, and it does a pretty good job of just looking good on its own. Now, obviously, it's very scaled down, and it's about 12 inches tall. Here it is from the side, and you can see it's real thin. It's real thin, and you can also see, now this is my own lighting setup. I just borrowed my Tron light to stick in there, and I propped up the elevator with, this is some of the cord that I use for replacing vintage cord, but this little light here can just light up this window here, and it's one of the features. We'll get into the features here in just a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to show that there's things you can do with this thing if you want to, just for fun. And of course, I always like doing stuff like that for fun. And let me get all of that out of there so we can see. Here's the back of it. Now we'll go put some figures in it and show you all of the stuff, but this is just a quick nickel tour. I get that from the from the good old Captain Power series. Now here is the other side, and the other side actually had a function, so we're going to get into that. So let's go over the list of functions that this thing does have, and the first one being the surprise attack door. And it's really just a front door. They had to try to make it sound like it was awesome, like it was great. You can see that the figures would fit in this space and they would go through there. That would work just fine. And so there's your surprise attack door. I think the only surprise would be if somebody was breaking in. It almost looks like a drawbridge, but anyway, there's that function right there. Next function, they're calling this a secret spy window, and so with that, the secret spy window, let's see if you can even see a figure if a figure's back there. As you can see, I do have Tigra. Let me see if I can wiggle them and you can see them, but I got Tigra in the window, so you can sort of see a figure in there. It is transparent. Before we get into the other two features which are inside of this thing, I do want to show this thing has paint right here on the eyes, on the mouth, on the, I don't know, horns on the shoulders. We've got stickers. These are actually stickers right here, sticker, and these are all stickers. Now when you get this set, you either people are missing stickers, or the stickers are in bad shape, or they're worn, so those are things to look out for. But when you get to the inside, you're going to see the cardboard is probably the biggest eyesore on this set, which it is for mine. So on the inside, you can see the cardboard here, and mine seems to be in bad shape. Overall, the cardboard doesn't hold up as well. So that's, if something you're looking for, I'm never going to display mine this way, so it doesn't really bother me. It does have the sticker, and the sticker's in good shape, which I see missing on a lot of these sets, so that's interesting there too. So it does have a couple of features. So the next one is the working elevator, and yes, it does work. It doesn't hold very well in some areas, but you kind of have the elevator to go up to get out of the attack door, and then you can go up and look out the secret window. So that's what that's all about. And I had to put something, prop something in place to hold this in place, to hold a very, very lightweight light inside of it. So that was kind of disappointing in that regard. But I bet you if I messed around, tightened the screws, or did some stuff, I could do some stuff to make it hold in place better. But the more you tighten this, the bigger chance you have of breaking it if it hangs up and snags somewhere. So I'm not even going to mess with that because I'm not really going to use these features that much. Now, it does have another feature with the gel here. There's the gel door, and it does kind of pull this out and it pops it open. This is on a spring, so that's what this whole mechanism's about. and you could capture somebody like that in the jail cell. And then of course the jail door does open. So all this pretty cool feature for such a little toy line. Having some actual features that you can use really works well. Next up, I want to talk about the Mumra's Crypt here, and this thing is pretty cool looking. I actually thought it was still really dirty, and I went and cleaned it again. And it's just, they seem to all kind of have some discoloration to them, which no matter how much you clean them, it's going to have discoloration with age. When this color of plastic discolors, it looks weird, but I'm sure if you get one bit in the box, right out of the box, you won't have any discoloring. But it has a few features like these reflective eyes here, so that's supposed to be a feature of this. And really, in my opinion, that and the big party trick are the only two features. This does the same thing as the Mumra's Tomb in the bigger LJN line, so let's have a look at that. So what you do is you magically place Mumra, Old Man Mumra in there. He's all weak and frail. And then I guess you say some bunch of stuff and Moonstar or whatever, and then boom, you have Mumra the Ever-Living. So there it is. That is what this does. Really, it's just kind of like a display piece, in my opinion, to have behind all of your figures. That's really the only reason to have this, unless you just really like doing the conversion over and over. But there it is. And there's the Eye of Thundera, which I don't really know a whole lot about it. It does have some pretty cool looking clear doors on it. It also has like an ejector stand, comes with the figure, the Monkian figure. Now if I see one of those for a good price, since I already have most of the rest of the line, I might pick it up, but I don't know if I'm going to go after the snowman and all of that, and the snow meow and all of that. So again, this is kind of something fun, and really only got into it for the Cat Slayer. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick look at the Kidworks 1986 Thundercats miniatures, the entire line more or less. And I'm curious if any of y'all have these, if you like these, if you had them back in the day, because I don't think I had any of these back in the day. But I didn't even know they existed till a few months ago when I was looking for a big Cat Slayer and realized this is a much smaller, more affordable, easier to display option that's out there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Tiberium Hanger out.